Here's what I'm doing. It's the floor, 2005 Chevy Astro. There's a buttload of videos on YouTube about changing the fuel pump and cutting right through the floor. So my problem, there was a video I did 6 months ago, whatever. I broke down on the side of the road. Couldn't figure out what was wrong. I ran the battery dead because the battery was a piece of junk, trying to start it. Somebody came along and gave me a jump, so I said, spray this in there. It was carb cleaner, I think. Spray this while I'm cranking it. So he sprayed it in there and the thing fired right up, but didn't stay running, of course. So I had to call a friggin' tow. Anyway, the next morning it came out and it fired right up. So I went through all the crap with the solenoids and this and that and the other and blah blah blah. Couldn't find anything wrong. So I'm driving along again, happened again. Brr, just dead. Pull off the side of the road. Look up underneath there. See the wires going back to the fuel pump. Grab hold of the wires and just jerk on them and jiggle them around a little bit. Boom, start right up again. So I never had a problem with it since this past week. It started doing it again. I jump out, jiggle the wires, jump back in, fire it up, right in the middle of traffic. Very dangerous. Then on top of that, I can't get my friggin' hazard lights to work. Worked on that early this morning too. Cannot figure out what's going on. It's got to be in the column, I guess. You know, I'm contemplating on what to do with this thing because I can't keep jumping out in the middle of traffic and yanking on the wire and jump back in. So I've located the wires and they're right here. And I'm just drilling this thing out. I don't need to cut a big hole like these guys do to change the fuel pump. I just need to pull that damn plug off and clean the connections. Now I can't get my hand up there from underneath. I can only go so far. Then there's a, part of the frame, and it's in the middle there. I think the frame is right here where these spot welds are, and I can, just get that far, and then the wire comes through and plugs in. Something has to be done. It's just too dangerous. I mean, this thing just dies right in the middle of traffic. I've been lucky so far, been able to just pull off to the side, but it happened to me the other day right downtown Orlando. Luckily, with the traffic situation and this lockdown and the stay-at-home corona poop, there wasn't a lot of traffic on the road, but I did hold up a few cars jumping out, grabbing the wire, yanking on it, jump back in. So I'm using this step drill, and the reason being, when I drill through, I don't want to, run this thing down in there. Plus, it cuts a pretty good path. Also, they say if you own one of these vans, more than likely you're going to be putting in a fuel pump. And there's an empty plug slot right there. This is just hanging. Here's another plug. What in the world is happening? And all I got to do is throw a little duct tape over that. So, like I said, here's the wire. Should be plugged into here. Why it's not way over there, it must be from me pulling on it. But how in the hell did that happen, and what does that go to, and why does this thing still run? What I'm thinking is, because I can't pull this through like I thought I could, really need two people to see what's going on. Because what I've been doing is getting under the van. This goes through and hangs down. You get under there and you jerk on it, and the van will start back up. Now what I'm thinking is that this thing, because I can't really pull it through, it's stuck right there, is that this thing may be pinched between the frame and the tank right here. And there may be a break, or in the wire, and that's what's making it come back on. Is not at the plug, but in the wire up here. So I'm going to start it up, come over here and jiggle these wires around and see if it causes the thing to stop. If that's the case, then I'm going to either have to cut this back to expose the wire, or get under the friggin' van, loosen up the strap bolts, and drop this thing. So right now, the pump is running, or else it would just, it kind of gurgles a little bit. Now, see, nothing is happening. So what in the world is going on here? Why does it always have to be, what in the world is going on? You can see right there where I hit these two back wires. The green one looks alright. And what the hell is going on? This is unplugged. They did do an engine swap. And I never got the information from the guy. What year, what was the mileage? Supposedly it was, tons of mileage lower than the one they took out, blah, blah, blah. So I've been under there. I've done a lot of work under there. I put a new transmission in this thing, and it just, all the wiring and everything is crap, the way they put that thing in here. But what's going on here? I don't get it. Does this need to be plugged in? Do they leave it out for a reason? From what I understand, there's like the actual pump and ascending unit. But reading the schematics I'm looking at, it's all, Greek to me. Something very weird is going on. I can't pull these through. The whole time I'm thinking, when I jerk on this is tight, and it's making a connection. Like I said, this was an engine swap, so somebody's been in here before, left this unplugged for some reason. I don't know. But is that what's going on? There's a short in here. Wires pinched. So when I jerk on it out there, something is happening, and blah 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 blah. I don't know. All right, did some more homework, and I believe this is the tank pressure sensor wiring harness. This stuff up. It's so time consuming, and it's probably been disconnected because it sends up codes and blah blah blah, and Lord only knows where this van has been, and you get the bad codes, you won't pass emissions inspection, and blah 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 blah. It's disconnected. Obviously it hasn't moved in God knows how long. I'm not going to connect it back, but I still have the problem of the fuel pump and this wire. Like I said, go down there and jiggle it around, and the van starts right back up. The plan was cut a hole in here under the impression that I need to clean the terminals, not making good contact. But now, like I said, I think it may be a different problem. May be pinched up under here. Whoops. Oh man, that's sharp. I can't get my fingers in there too far. Now I can feel the outer, what do you call that stuff? Like conduit. That black spirally. Well, I'll go out there and show you from the bottom. Alright, so this is it right here. This is the wiring going up in there. And then right up there, like I said, I can't get past because of the frame. So that wire is underneath between the frame and the tank. And when I come out, I go like this and jump in, and it fires right back up. So something is funky. Now look here, like I said, this thing, engine swap, look at this. This is a mess. Maybe this is where, you know, jiggling it, maybe this is where it's happening right here, not up there. You know what I mean? Now, does this look factory? I don't know. Kind of funky looking to me. Yeah, see, that's not, get out of here, bub. God, that's not factory. This is where somebody spliced this in. This is probably, when I go like this, it's probably in here where the problem is. So I just cut a big hole in the floor. For nothing. Now that's just the ground there, but underneath there's more. That's what's going on with this damn thing, I bet you. This has got to be it, man. This has got to be it. Well, I tell you what, moving over this lot, it's your spastic park with all the bugs. Alright, let me unwrap this. I'll be right back. Alright, so you can see, you know, somebody, same thing on the, like on the rest of this damn thing, put this puppy in there. And this is probably where, like I said, I'm pulling on this all the time, but shaking it here is probably where it's, I mean, everything feels tight. You know, the first time this happened, I mean, I've been, you know, for months now, and no problem, all of a sudden it's starting to happen again. Now, I've just dropped this thing that much, as fat as the end of my finger, and this freaking wire is still not coming through. Now, like I said, if I stick my finger on it in here, I can feel there's the conduit on it. Why isn't it loosening up? Something's just not making sense. I don't want to undo that freaking tank all the way, and then I'll have to get a jack out and everything. Anyway, the actual plug in there looks great. You know, I thought it was going to be dirty, corroded. Looks pretty damn good. I'll still shoot it, hit a little carb cleaner or something. Still can't pull this through. Drop the tank, like I said, as thick as my finger down. Still can't get any wire to come out. I want to pull this thing out and inspect these wires. They may be getting pinched up there. I don't know what's happening yet. So I'm going to drop the tank a little bit farther, get the jack out, put the jack under it, and see how far I can drop it, see if I can get this to pull out. Alright, I've dropped that thing down a solid over an inch, and it's just not doing what I thought it was going to do. These wires do not want to come through. They're stuck. I don't know. I don't want to start cutting this all up either to track them down. I want to just slide them a little bit. Freaking crazy, baby. Alright, so I'm just going to wrap this thing up. I can't get those wires through. I'm not dropping that tank any farther. They must be tied in somewhere up there, and the only way to do it would be to get the tank out, because it ain't happening what I thought was going to happen. So I just sprayed everything down, a little brake parts cleaner, let that dry up, throw some duct tape over the hole, wrap this up, go to Home Depot, and get me some Skeeter stuff, man. They're eating me up under this tree. So there you go, hole in the floor, clean the connections. Now I'm not, like I said, I don't know, kind of wondering what the hell is going on. Where is the brake When I jiggle those wires, something is making a connection, and the van starts back up, the pump starts running. Alright, we'll figure it out later, I guess. Just don't want to break down in the middle of the road again in the traffic.
It's This Old Outboard, baby. Oh yeah, baby, you know the channel.